Get ready.
This is the voice of Wayne America.
Lighten up, Francis.
With your host,
Hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here.
Mike Carnes.
How do you measure yourself with other golfers? By height.
Only at WayneAmerica.com.
The supernova's gonna kill us all.
Okay, this guy is the real zero, that's true. Just think back when you guys were freshmen, huh?
.com.
Hello and welcome to the Voice of Wayne America podcast, an exclusive here on WayneAmerica.com. I'm Mike Carnes, your host for the show, and we sit here and talk about things that are going on here in the best town in all of America, and that's right here in Wayne America. I want to thank our sponsors at Providence Medical Center for their support of the program. And the focus on this edition of the Voice of Wayne America is the upcoming election. It will be held in the first Tuesday in November. And, of course, we have statewide elections and elections for Congress as well. And we also have elections for local office. And I thought we would use this format to give people of Wayne an opportunity to hear from the candidates for two of the city council races and the mayoral race that'll be coming up this November. Two of the four races for city council do have one candidate that is running unopposed, and we have two that have two candidates competing for the position on the city council. So we're going to, for this first edition of the podcast, of this series of podcasts, we're going to focus on the city council Ward 4 race, and that is between Jill Brodersen and Jessi Hansen. Jill, of course, is currently the acting mayor, the interim mayor of Wayne. She had to step up into the position when Ken Chamberlain and his family moved out of state. And so Jill is the acting mayor right now for the city until November, and then if she wins this election, obviously she goes back to city council. If she doesn't, then Jessi goes on to city council. So it's a matter of, I guess, what happens between now and then. But Jessi and Jill are both here with us for this podcast, and we're going to ask both of them some questions about the city and what their thoughts are on some of these topics, and then we're just kind of doing a little conversational mode, not really a debate format per se, but just more of just a conversation between the three of us. And first off, I want to introduce Jessi Hansen, who is running for the Award 4 council seat. Jessi, tell us a little bit about yourself real quick.
As you said, my name is Jessi Hansen. I have been in Wayne since 2006, and I love it here. I love this community. I work full-time at the courthouse in the assessor office, and then I actually bartend 2 nights a week at Sidelines in Wakefield, and I very much enjoy that too. I just love people. All
right. And Jill Brodersen. Jill, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I am currently the mayor of Wayne. I was city council president, and as you said, I moved into the position when Ken Chamberlain's family moved away, but let's see, I grew up in Wayne, went to high school here, my parents live here, my in-laws live here. We moved back, after I left after high school, I moved back in 2006, as did Jessi, and I'm an architect. I had a small business on Main Street, and let's see, my kids have all gone to high school here at Wayne High, and yeah. So I feel like I've been a lifelong resident of Wayne.
All right. So we have two quality candidates here for the Ward 4 race. So we'll start off with the really tough question. Now, we'll start with Jessi. Jessi, what or who inspired you to run for this job?
My genuine love of Wayne, and I worked at the Wayne Area Economic Development Office for 6 years with Wes and Irene, and working there gave me just a big appreciation for community involvement and the love of Wayne and how things happen and how they roll, and I just want to be a part of that. I want to be involved. That's what it comes down to. I love this community. It's my choice to be here. I don't have family here. I'm not from here. I'm originally from Battle Creek, and just life brought me here, and it's my choice to be here. I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jill, what inspired you to run for this position initially?
Ken Chamberlain. So about 8 years ago, there was a vacancy on the council, and Ken, we were good friends, but he just kept encouraging me. I said, I'm not really political, and I found out he just started asking me, how do you feel about this issue and that issue? And I realized I had a strong opinion on these issues that the city council was voting on, and it's really not political. It's more of a judgment call and more of a desire to make the community where you live a better place. I feel like right now I'm kind of past that learning curve on city council. I feel like city council is more it's more of a variety of representatives. That's what makes it a great council. So a variety as of men, women, younger, older people, and different areas of expertise or different occupations that we all bring to the council to make it a very good working council. Yeah.
All right. I guess the next 4 years is kind of the big thing for whoever wins this job. They're going to be a part of the city council for the next 4 years. And Jill, I'll start with you. What do you feel is the most pressing need the community faces, and how can the city council help address that?
I feel the most pressing need is growth. Our growth we are growing in housing and development, business and industry, infrastructure and amenities. Dave Rippey, he's the state director for economic development. He toured Wayne this summer, and he had some great things to say about Wayne. But basically he said we are very aggressive in growth. And I feel that as a city, what can we do to maintain that growth? Do we have the city resources for growth? Is our water a viable water source for growth? How much can our treatment plant handle? How much can our power plant handle? Our recycling? Although, let me take a step back. As far as growth is concerned, one of my priorities is retaining Wayne State graduates and bringing Wayne High graduates back to town. If we can get Wayne State College students out and engaged in the community during their 4 years here, as with the Service Learning Project through Wayne State College, we have the opportunity to retain them and to grow. Wayne is an economical place to grow a business, and it's an economical place to live, and I think growth is a key factor.
Okay. Jessi, what do you think is the most pressing issue for the city if you're on the city council for the next 4 years?
Okay, well, my answer's not nearly as elaborate, but I still feel valid. Jill mentioned housing, and I do want to mention that as well. I feel that is definitely a need, and we've come a long ways with housing. Again, having worked at Wayne Area Economic Development and having the Wayne Community Housing Office in that office, just opened my eyes to a lot of things. And now working at the assessor office, there's just a need for housing. One of my thoughts was maybe building more housing along the lines of Southview Estates. The intent was to open up affordable housing for young families, and some of that has actually happened. Older folks have opted to move out of their homes that it's harder for them to maintain, moved into the Southview Estates. That's an easy thing for them to maintain, and those homes have since opened up for younger families. Working in the assessor office, we see who sells what and who buys what, and that has happened, which I think is a great thing. The rural workforce housing is also another really great recent addition as an option for buying a home in the Wayne and Wakefield area as well. So,
all right, Jessi, we'll go to you for this one. That infrastructure is something I think both of you have mentioned here, and that's really a vital element to the city's growth, particularly with things like streets and electricity and sewer and water. What do you think should be the first item on the city's to-do list in this area, and why for infrastructure?
The water transmission main to ensure adequate water supply and uninterrupted service. Again, my answer probably not as elaborate as Jill's, but she's got a lot more experience under her belt, and that's fine. We need water, so if something were to happen to the wells that we already have, at this point, it would be hard for them to keep up with the demand. So having, another option for water, I think would be very good. So I feel that's a top of the list infrastructure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jill, from your perspective, what do you think is the number one issue for infrastructure?
I don't think there's an answer to that, because I think all four of the infrastructure, sewage, water, electric, roads, they're all high-cost investments, and their lifespans are so long that it's more of a juggle with these entities, not one now, one later, or one too late. So as I found out with City Council, we're looking at these always. As far as electric is concerned, we just completed the West Inner, it's called the West Inner, East Inner Conversion Project. This converted some of the old overhead lines to underground lines in some areas of the city. We also are looking to replace some of our older generators at the power plant. Water lines, we have a water line north of town that has a small leak in it. We're currently looking at a backup line. It goes along Pheasant Run on the west side. Let's see. Oh, we're also looking to replace some of the 4-inch water mains with 8-inch water mains. That will help with water flow and fire protection. Street repair, as you know, is ongoing. Our street department, they've done a good job of keeping up. And I think they're very prompt with repairs. If you notice, like over there on
Second Street.
and Pearl, yes, it was like all of a sudden, it's like, whoops, something's going on there, boom. They're working on it, getting that fixed. We do have like a 1 and 6 year street improvement plans that we're constantly reworking and looking at those. And then sewage, even though we have a state-of-the-art Aquarius wastewater treatment plant, we did purchase a belt press sludge compactor a few years ago. I don't know, something that we needed. And we really look to at our department heads. We depend on our department heads to give us updates, bring concerns forward so we can solve the problems and prioritize and look at ways that we can fund these projects. So like I said, I think it's everyone all the time, all the 4 infrastructure areas.
Okay. Wayne is a very proud and strong business community, particularly in the downtown area. And I think I think all three of us will agree that the downtown area is one of the crown jewels of Northeast Nebraska as far as business is concerned, small town business. As a city council representative, what do you think is the city's role in drawing potential business and industry to the community?
I think the city is a partner with those business resources, like the Chamber of Commerce, the Wayne Area Economic Development, Business and Industry, Revitalize Wayne. The mayor and the council members sit on the Economic Development Board. So I think it's more of a partnership with those entities, but ways in which the city directly helps is providing for the needs to help those businesses retain and bring potential new businesses to town. One is the workforce housing. We just funded the LB 518 workforce housing investment with $237,000. This bill was created to grant and support the development of workforce housing necessary to recruit and retain employees. And we actually have a builder who is using some of that right now. We also have the LB 840, which we've loaned out $3.2 million to new and existing businesses for economic development. This is local tax revenues that we use as a revolving loan fund. Most of it's in loans. Some of it has been granted out to help businesses grow, like the Jug with their new addition, and the Beaumont, to help expanding those and bring those businesses around. We also have down payment assistance for housing. We did, back when the tornado hit, we had a loan fund to help those businesses rebuild. So I feel like the city is more of a partner in helping those businesses and finding ways that we can help retain the businesses we have and bring new businesses to town.
Okay. Jessi, what are your thoughts on the city's role in drawing potential business to the community?
Okay, I feel another spec building would be advantageous. Williams Forum has grown leaps and bounds, and the one that we had, and with that said, they provided jobs. Continue to offer the revolving loan funds that both the city and Wayne Area Economic Development offer. And speaking of Wayne Area Economic Development, having the city continue to contribute to their budget so they can continue to promote our community. I feel like they do a great job with those commercials and the live, work, play, and I think just to continue that relationship and continue to give them the funds they need to help promote our community.
All right. I know, and this kind of ties in with this previous question, attracting people to the community, the business in town are a vital part of that. And but drawing younger people to the community is kind of a challenge that small towns like Wayne are always facing. What are your thoughts about having some kind of a collaboration with the city, the county, schools, maybe in Wayne State College on coming up for ideas for either improved facilities or even new facilities like a fine arts center or something like that?
Okay. There's already a collaboration with the Wayne Community Schools to encourage coming back to Wayne after the graduates, quote unquote, get done seeing what's out there and they want to come back to where they come from. If you're an example, Jill, I think that's awesome. I mean, you're a testament that's a great thing. And so those families coming back would find a need for all of the above. Excuse me. I think it would be good for the Wayne State College Foundation, the Wayne Community School Foundation, and the Legacy Fund to get together to fundraise for, you know, one of the above. You know, it's going to be hard to make all of them happen at any given time, but, you know, focus on, do we want an indoor pool? Because that would, you know, encourage a swim team. That would encourage, you know, the swim meets that we could have. You know, build another gym onto the activity center to promote those tournaments that, you know, or want to be done that we don't have room for. You know, when those things are brought to town, people eat. They stay in the hotels. They spend money, which is also good for the revenue. So that's how I feel those things could maybe be done.
Okay. Jill, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it was yes to all of the above. Well, those amenities, as like with infrastructure, they are always ongoing. Now that the pool is done, I feel like we just can't stop. We have to continue with what's the next amenity. There is actually a committee, representatives from Wayne State College, Wayne Community Schools, and the city to determine how we can collaborate together and support each other with new facilities, such as if the city builds a swimming pool, how will Wayne State collaborate with, did I say indoor pool? Yeah.
You did not say indoor pool, but
Indoor pool, I meant indoor pool. If we build an indoor pool, how will Wayne State collaborate with us? They want an indoor pool, but, you know, so we're working on how will they help us get the pool? How will Wayne High help us with the pool? Also with the fine arts theater. If Wayne State builds it, how will the schools use it? How will the city use it? So yeah, we do have a committee right now that is working on it. It's just getting started, so we're really just brainstorming and looking at possibilities there. But I feel as a city, we are continuing, again, it's like the infrastructure. The amenities are an ongoing, like the parks, the old swimming pool building, Bressler Park stage, auditorium maintenance, community activity center, the trails. We are always improving our senior center program, the activity center, the library, and I feel like we must continually look at and improve our amenities.
okay. Well, we've kind of run through the gauntlet of questions here. I wanted to take a moment before we close things down here to give our support to our sponsor here at Providence Medical Center. They're proud to announce the addition of a new surgical procedure that they now offer at the hospital called shoulder arthroscopy. The surgical procedure is for those who have rotator cuff injuries, where the surgeon inserts a tiny camera and the necessary instruments through small incisions in the shoulder rather than doing an open procedure with a large incision. Dr. Joseph Caro specializes in orthopedic surgery for Providence Medical Center. He is also the team physician for Wayne State Athletics and also offers his expertise at multiple high schools here in the area. For more information, check out Providence Medical Center's website at www.providencemedical.com. That's Providence Medical Center, extraordinary care rooted in compassion. We've kind of gone through all the questions that we wanted to ask of our two candidates for the Ward 4 City Council race here. So I guess give you guys both an opportunity to kind of make a last pitch for the voters who are listening to the podcast. And Jill, I guess since we started with Jessi, we'll start with you on this last one. So
I'll tell you, Mike, I feel like the city council is not about one issue. I think it's an ongoing problem solving and growth for our city. And we are called upon to make judgments not for ourselves or for our own benefit, but for the good of our community as a whole. And I think you did a great job with your questions. They weren't about single specific issues, they were more general. So I want to thank you for your service.
all right, well, thanks a lot. Jessi?
All right. Well, again, not as elaborate as Joe, but nonetheless, I'm kind of a less is more. For the love of Wayne is why I'm running, and it's with love. There's leadership, objective, visionary, and energetic, and I feel I am all of those things.
All right. Well, that's going to take care of our first of three podcasts here on WayneAmerica.com, on Voice of Wayne America. This is the podcast of the Ward 4 City Council race between Jill Brodersen and Jessi Hansen. And hopefully you have had an opportunity to listen to this podcast, and whether this has helped make your decision or not, I guess we'll find out on November, the first Tuesday in November, when the elections are held.
November 6th.
November 6th, which is also Jill's birthday by coincidence. So
So we're going to hang out at the courthouse. We can have cake.
That's right.
Yes.
I'll bring
So-
cookies.
That's a fine plan.
So evidently there'll be a birthday party at the courthouse on Tuesday night. So stop by and wish her a happy birthday, I guess. So, Jill and Jessi, thanks a lot for taking time to talk on Voice of Wayne America, and best of luck to both of you on the upcoming election.
Thank you so much.
All right. That's going to do it for this edition of Voice of Wayne America here on WayneAmerica.com. Again, I want to thank Jill Brodersen and Jessi Hansen, the candidates for Ward 4 City Council, for taking time to talk here. Our next podcast will include the Ward 1 council race with Chris Whaler and Rod Greavy, and you'll be able to hear that on WayneAmerica.com at a later date as we get closer to the election. And we'll also have a podcast between our two mayoral candidates, Cale Yacey and Pat Molina, that will be here on WayneAmerica.com. That's going to do it for this edition. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and we'll have another edition of Voice of Wayne America here on WayneAmerica.com. Until then, we'll see you later.